welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is Little Big Workshop. All right, so imagine a magical factory appearing right in your living room, a carefully planned masterpiece where diligent workers throw together anything consumers want: rubber ducks and dressers, drones and electric guitars, scooters and other wonderful goods that can be created from many different materials and sold for hard cash. Cash you can invest right back into your factory to get more machines, more workers, and grow your business. In Little Big Workshop, you become a factory tycoon. So yeah, this game is a tycoon game. Um,
hmm
Granted, like I haven't seen like the tycoon moniker used in these things in a very long time. Honestly, I think all of the really cheap tycoon games kind of killed off the appeal of that name. But they still make these. They very much still make management sims of various sorts. And I guess you could call this a pure capitalism simulator because, well, this description here, that is how capitalism is, supposed to work. You know, we won't get into the actual reality, but, you create stuff, you make money, you invest back into your thing and grow, is the basic idea. Anyway, so we were given the PlayStation 4 version of this game, so it's over the petty for the body of the review.
So this game is kind of interesting, but honestly, after the tutorial, it's so aimless. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing because it doesn't give you like any clear scenario type thing.
Well, granted, that's a lot of these kind of simulators, like SimCity, Tropico, what have you. They're similarly quote unquote aimless, but I think what you're getting at is there's no scenario mode
Yeah.
because that tends to be a portion of a management simulator. You do a thing for a certain amount of years, or you try to make this amount of money. Um, I you know I'm going to presume that the overall point is just to make shit, you know, for the sake of making shit.
hmm
You know,
And also, I don't know if I just didn't understand the tutorial good well enough, but I had problems making things more complicated than like the one or two step things they showed in the tutorial.
that could be a number of things. That could be an upgrade issue. That could be a monetary issue. Like, um, I couldn't say for certain since I have not played the game. I know how these things work generally.
hmm
But I can't also disqualify the notion that this game might have its own personal quirks.
hmm
Anyway,
But yeah, as far as the game goes, you can make various workstations, conveyor belts, break rooms, storage areas, whatever you'll need.
mm-hmm.
It's fairly robust. I haven't got to a point where I could um make my factory bigger. So I don't know if that's a thing that they allow, or I'm assuming you can get a bigger factory, but
That would be pretty standard. Like, I'd be more surprised if they didn't. Anyway,
and yeah, you have a whole bunch of options that'll line stuff up, and there's your typical speed up times, slow down time.
mm-hmm.
You have contracts you can do, which is basically how you would progress.
Yeah.
Once you have the stuff made, if you have a buyer, they will automatically come pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like shopping for items, you can get various workbenches that'll have different things. like assembly, metalworking, injection molding, paints, all that stuff. And there is also, shelving to keep various parts. You can make a break room because I don't believe your workers ever go home. They just kind of live there, which is concerning, but that's something for another time entirely.
Either that or we're practicing some 19th century capitalism here. You live in the company town and you buy shit from the company store.
Well, it looks like you're, I guess, just like figures on like what looks to be a drafting table.
Uh-huh.
So I imagine they aren't real. At least I hope not, or else this is a real dystopian shit. And
it's possible. I'm not sure what these things are.
Yeah. And yeah, if you complete a contract, you get an experience bonus and extra money. And then you can use your money to do, buy the things.
Yeah. Like I said, this is basically capitalism simulator. It's just they're not calling it that. They're using a lot more whimsy.
Yes.
Granted, I'm sure this is going to be anathema to many people, but that's a discussion for another day.
And, they have, like, various riffs on other companies available, like Swakia, Bros and Biceps, stuff like that.
Right. Legally distinct parody games.
Yeah. Legally distinct so we don't have to do illegal themselves.
Yes. At any rate.
And yeah, you can get some intricate detail on how you want stuff built. Like, it'll mostly lay out what can and can't work, but you can, like, say I want to have it be dark wood instead of bright wood. I can do that.
Can you have the type of wood, like oak versus, say, birch?
I don't believe so, at least not early on.
So how does the game control, since, well, very clearly that this is something that was born out of a mouse and keyboard setup?
It seems fine.
That's actually good to hear, since, once again, this is the kind of game that doesn't always translate well to, consoles. Like, and looks like it's got some controller compromises there, radial dials.
Yup. Everyone loves their radial dials.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're using the form factor of a controller, like radial dials with a keyboard and mouse aren't actually all that helpful.
Indeed.
Much easier and faster to just, point and click.
Yeah, and this does not support the trackpad on the PS4 controller.
When was the last time that was supported? Genuine question.
There are some first-party games that still use it.
That's about what I would expect. Like the trackpad always seemed to be underutilized. Which is unfortunate because, you'd think a game like this, you'd build the trackpad, but I think that has something to do with the fact that this is a multi-format release. If I'm remembering correctly, this showed up on PC during the summer, and just like last month, showed up on all the consoles. Anyway, So, anything to talk about in terms of the music?
It's there. You know, it's not something that we can go run out and look for a soundtrack, but it's there.
Mm, duly noted. Like, um, oh, what about pricing? Right.
I did not
I
check what this is.
Okay. I got it right here. It's $20, and it's $20. Um, no matter the platform. Right.
Hmm. It really depends. Like, if you can kind of have, I guess, the self discipline to, push through till you get more contracts, then rock on. But, like, if
Mm.
you get bored easy when you don't have something set, then I would suggest passing.
That's always been a kind of weakness on my end with these kind of games. It's like, you know, I've never been a huge fan of the sandbox. Build anything. Having some goals definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly enjoy, you know, Sim City, but yeah, I kind of prefer the scenario modes there. I mean, granted, in terms of like actual, like this more resembles like Roller Coaster Tycoon or Railroad Tycoon, but more of a just a jack of all trades.
Right.
And so, what are your thoughts on the price and the game?
The game is overall fine, but I kind of wish they had more tutorials for
Mm.
when you're doing like more complicated things, because it doesn't really tell you in the menus if you're doing something wrong or what you did wrong. So you'll be
Mm.
sitting there, for 20, 30 minutes wondering why the hell you can't get this project started. And then a lot of times you'll probably just get frustrated and stop playing, which is probably not good.
Mm.
But yeah, overall it's fine. There's no huge problems with it being on, PS4. Plays smooth, doesn't have too many drastic frame rate dips from what I've seen. You know, the typical decent, um, console port.
Mm. Once again, I'm a bit surprised at that because, like I said, I've seen this game, not necessarily this kind of game, not necessarily go wrong, but you know, controlling SimCity with a D-pad just never worked out. Like, or an analog stick for that matter.
hmm The only thing that's a little weird is when you flick the joystick to move the camera, it goes in 90 degrees instead of giving you a free camera.
Once again, that's just kind of a controller limitation.
hmm
I
Kind of
mean,
wish there was an option, but, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
hmm. All right. Anything else?
Not that I can think of. Do you guys have any other questions? I
I'm
guess
good.
I guess the only other thing is you can't really directly interact with your little workers. They just kind of exist. You tell them what to do, they'll hopefully do it if you planned it out right.
Mhm.
And then yeah, guess that's it from me.
All right then, and that'll about do it for Little Big Workshop here. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Golics will be reviewing Blind Men.